basics of the software that is built in with the smartboard. As you can see, it's kind of a combination of PowerPoint and Paint. So right now I'm in the creative mode where I can create my slides. I also have a presentation mode if I want to go to the large screen version. I'm just going to go over some of the tools that there are with the software that's built in and kind of give you a rundown of how these tools work. A couple things first is that if the kids want to come up here and create something and this is too high, you can choose to relocate it down to the bottom. For the purpose of this, I'm going to leave it up towards the top. Some of the components of this software, for example, I have writing utensils and I can customize each of these writing utensils. So again, I can write on the board. Again, it will recognize, I can choose it to recognize the letter that I actually write. With this, I can change the color that I want to write in. They have another pen that has different options. The kids seem to really like the creative pen so they can kind of write in different styles. It's an eraser that's built into it too, so I can erase. I can choose to have a bigger eraser if I need to, so I can erase. The one thing it won't do is if you actually change it to a letter, it will not erase that. All you need to do is click on it and choose to delete it. Another tool up here is you can create lines, and you have a whole variety of lines up here, big, small, different colors. And again, you can customize any of these tools up here to meet your needs. You have a shape tool that it will create the shape that you want. It has a shape recognition tool. So with the shape recognition tool, I can draw a shape and it'll actually convert it to the shape that I want. So the kids like this so they can come up and actually draw a shape. And I know my first graders sometimes don't always draw the best shapes, but this will help them see what shape they're actually drawing, help the classmates see what shape they're drawing. Some other tools that are up here. A fill bucket, just like in Paint, I can fill shapes with different colors. There is just kind of like in Word, if you ever if you've ever played with Paint, you can actually enter text. So if I want to enter a text box, I can type in text. I can do this one of two ways. I can do it at the computer, or there is a built-in keyboard that I can bring up on the screen. So if I want to enter some text, I can, as you see, I just now entered the text in this box. Oops, get rid of that. So again, that's just a basic overview, and again, I can go back into the presentation mode if I want. But that's just some of the basic tools that allow the smartboard to be interactive, whether it's the teacher up here interacting or whether it's the students that come up and interact with the board as well. If you're studying in different states, you can bring in the background. This whole United States is not going to move. However, the states that I put in here, I can physically move. So again, they can come up to the board, they can drop them into place. When they actually drop them into place, it actually kind of locks it into place where it's at. Again, so they can come up to the board, whatever states you're learning about, you can put up here. Then after they put them in there, if you want them to, they can come up here and choose, pick up a marker, and they can choose to write maybe the abbreviation for the state, or you can come up and have them write the capitals of the state. Another application for geography, you might use Google Earth. With Google Earth, you might find the location. This is the location of Penn Elementary. Now, when I take up a pen, or I can also come over here and select the pen this way as well and choose the color of my pen. But when I choose to write on whatever's on the screen, whether it's a website, whether it's Google Earth, any application, as you can see, a frame popped up around this. Now, when I go to write, I can now write on any application that is running on my computer. What I can also do is, now that I've circled Penn Elementary, I can take a picture of it. Once it takes a picture, I can go back into the software that's built in, and you will see now, get this out of here for us. You can see now that the page that we were just on is now automatically put into the smart board software that's built in. Some examples of using the smart board for math. For place value, what they can actually come up to the board and do, we have a place value map, we have our flats, our longs, and our cubes for our base 10 blocks. They can drag to show us a number that we would like them to show with the base 10 blocks. So after they show us a number with the base 10 blocks, you can have them choose a writing utensil. So once they choose a writing utensil, they can come up here and they can actually write on the board for us the value of our number. You might have them then change the color and maybe circle a digit that's in a specific place value. So if you want them to circle the tens place, they can come and show us which digit is the tens place. Another example that we've used, dice. The kids really seem to enjoy this. What we can do if we're working on addition facts here in first grade, I can put the dice onto the screen, create our addition, and then when they come up and actually click on this, oops, let me change over here to pin or to arrow. So when they click on it, it actually spins the dice for us. They can add the dice accordingly and write the number in. Maybe you want to do this with multiplication facts, so we can change our symbol to multiplication. So now what they can do when they come up here and they click on the dice, they can now multiply it instead of add it. You can some applications about history, again with the Essentials for Educators, which is built into this Smartboard software. I can go in and I choose all my subject areas up here, so I can look through my history. If I want to go through my history, I can look for pictures. Let's say we're studying Abraham Lincoln. If I drag Abraham Lincoln onto the slide, now he's inserted into my slide. So as you can see, we can manipulate this. If I want to draw on it, I can draw on it. Some tools I'm going to show you. There's what they call a magic pen. So if I take the magic pen, and we're talking about Abraham Lincoln, if I use this magic pen, it does three things. I can make a circle, and what that does is it's going to highlight one spot. I can make this bigger, I can make it smaller to focus one area of the picture. If I make a square and connect it, it will make it into a magnifying glass. Again, I can make it more zoomed in, less zoomed in, so accordingly I can zoom in closer to the picture or I can zoom farther out. The last thing I was going to show you, which is that if I'm talking about Abraham Lincoln, a lot of times students might get a little bit bored with the lesson. A way that you can keep them on their feet and make sure that they're engaged the entire time, if I'm talking about Abraham Lincoln and his nickname, I can write that up here in the magic pen. So if I write his nickname up here in the magic pen, I go back to talking a little bit about the lesson. Within a few seconds, it's actually going to disappear.